still haven't paid my rent for the month of October, and yep,
It's October 20th.
Worry about money? I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich.
Yo, it's Judine St. G, your internet bestie, and today I want to talk to you guys about how I manage financial anxiety when the money looking kind of funny. A story to illustrate the steps that I take. This story is actually very recent, so recent, yesterday recent. Yesterday I went to the Bronx to work out with my boy Bernhard, and it was great, but I didn't realize that the workout was a little bit of an escape from the fact that I was feeling crazy because
I still haven't paid my rent for the month of October, and yep,
it's October 20th. That was actually really scary to admit, but that's the point of this YouTube, right? So that's where we at. So cool, I'm done with the workout. I'm about to get back on the train, end up calling one of my best friends, and I'm telling him the situation, and I'm like, backtrack. In the past, I dealt with anxiety for quite a number of years. Nowadays, it doesn't really affect me. But for whatever reason, I was feeling a little bit of anxiety in my heart. And so I was talking to one of my best friends about it, and he was just like, it's crazy because I was feeling it in my heart, but he was listening to me and he was like, how are you so calm? And that's when I realized, like, oh wow, like, even though I kind of feel it definitely wasn't the level of like a panic attack or anything, right? But I have learned a way to kind of have this out-of-body experience. So when I say I was feeling crazy, I actually was observing myself. It's like I came out of myself and saw like an anxious me, but like I'm on the phone and I'm walking and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it's what it is. I ain't paid the rent. We just gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And then I realized, like, oh wow, like there's a method that I'm going through, and I definitely need to share it because someone could need it. Plus, I want y'all to see, like, these YouTube dreams, baby. We not paid right now. The bank account looking crazy, okay? But I wanted you guys to see this and to know this now, because in a few months from now, the conversation gonna be different. But y'all would have seen, where we was at. Okay, so even though I've gotten pretty good at like that out of body experience, yesterday was just kind of getting to me a little bit. I kept trying to come out the body, but then I'd be in the body and feeling it, right? And so I'm like, okay, all right. The first thing that I think, my best friend was like, how are you so calm? And that's really the first step. First thing is to calm down. So I started to think like, okay, well, what things make me calm? Walking. So I took a longer route to get to the train, just to walk and breathe. And then I had all these things on my to-do list to do when I got home. And what I did instead was get myself some food, sat down, and just took deep breaths. Like I was just like, I'm just gonna breathe and be right now, you feel me? So the first step is always make sure you calm down, because at the moment, I'm still here. So I'm gonna milk it and I'm going to stay calm. The next thing I had to do was remember, I've been studying a lot to sort of work on, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh crap. To work on reprogramming my subconscious mind, right? Because our lived experience, what we experience in life, is a reflection or like a direct result of what's going on in your subconscious mind, right? One of the things that keeps coming up in my studies and in my spiritual practice is that God is the supply. I had to remember, like, okay, wait, why am I worried about not having enough money?
I'm rich.
God is my supply. So this thing only get paid somehow. So cool. Came home, got something to eat, decided I was not gonna go into work and make myself really feel the anxiety, right? And I just started cleaning, just doing things around the house, put on some calming music, remembered that God was my supply, and then decided I was gonna trust in that. And I think part of the difficulty is that, y'all know I'm in this transition, right? So I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm leaving the fitness space, but yeah, sort of. Fitness used to be my main thing. YouTube and being a creator is about to be my main thing, whereas fitness is going to be like, a little bit of what I do. And a lot of that has been noticing how God has just removed things. My clients went from like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to 0, which was perfect because I told myself in September, October is gonna be just about YouTube, period. And now here we are, right? So I had to remember that God was my supply, but I also had to remember like, this is what we doing now. And it's gonna take it might take a little bit for things to like catch up to where we are right now. So meaning my bank account, everything gotta catch up because this is where we are and this is where God wants us. I had to trust that everything's really gonna be fine because I'm following and answering a call. Those clients that left, it wasn't really like, oh, we had bad relations. Like I loved all of them, and it was like a mutual mutual feelings. It was mutual feelings, but that was God being like, yeah, if I don't and yank them, she gonna keep doing this, and I keep trying to. It's been 5 years, girl. It's YouTube time. So being that it's God that's telling me to do this, I just have to trust that, like, all right, well, God, you must have a plan. You must be paying this rent because. So yeah, calm down. Remember where your supply is coming from and trust that it is indeed coming. But you're probably like, okay, but you're just too cool for school. That's what my best friend said. You're just too cool for school. Okay, so here's the key: praying. But it's how you pray. So for me, my prayer was just to ask, like, okay, I know that I shouldn't be worried about the how because God, the universe, universal energy, whatever you want to call it, spirit handles that. I just have to keep coming, showing up, doing the work, and then allowing the how to happen. But being that I'm a human being, I'm still kind of like, well, can you tell me, am I doing the right thing? What should I be doing? Is there something else I should be doing? Please let me know. So I actually said that prayer before I got home. So maybe pray should have been first. And the thing is, when you pray, I think a lot of people be like, oh, God forgot about me. I ain't never get answers to my prayers. But also, what's your posture after you pray? That's the question, right? When you pray, you got to be 10 toes about it. You got to be like, okay, I prayed. And now my eyes, my ears, all of my senses are open to receiving the message. Because again, intuition is the direct communication between you and God. God will answer you through your intuition, but it could come in different ways. So I want to tell you guys about my case. So I prayed, I stayed 10 toes, and then I was just in tune. Like, honestly, I kind of forgot about it. I prayed and I was like, like I said, I'm still in this building. So, I'm winding down. I decided I was gonna go to sleep early. It's about 9 p.m. and Bernhard calls me. And I'm like, that's kind of late to be calling me right now. But I answer, right? And I almost did it because I was like, what are you calling me for? We ain't nothing to talk about. But I'm like, okay, let me answer, right? Because remember, I'm 10 toes. I wasn't thinking about that when I answered. It's just, you don't know how the message is gonna come through. You don't know how the message comes through. So you wanna just be open, period. So I was like, okay, let me answer. Answered, and Scott just started like, I never heard him talk like that. First of all, he's never spoken to me like this ever. So I knew it was serious, and I was like, this is God. This is God talking to me through Scott. And Scott was outside in the street, and he was like, yo, sis, like I'm in the street right now. I'm trying to do Scott, I'm not really that good. Yo, I'm in the street right now, and like something just hit me. It's like I had a vision about you, like, and I had to call you. Like I knew I had to call you. And so he has no idea. We worked out, but he didn't know anything about like this whole moment, right? So Scott's like, yeah, like you got to continue with the plan. Don't deviate from the plan. He was like, I need you to hear me right now because this is serious. Like this was the vision, and like I don't play with these type of things because it's not something that happens all the time. But when it does, I know I have to speak on it. And he said, things are really about to blow up. Like it's gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta continue with the plan. He was like, the enemy's gonna try to distract you and try to make you feel like, it's gonna make you question, doubt, and waver, but don't. Because like, it's really coming for you. And I know that I had to tell you this. Mind you, I haven't posted nothing. I haven't done nothing, you know what I'm saying, since Sunday. And then he goes, okay, make sure you start posting your shorts and da-da-da. But he was like, no, but seriously, I need you to hear me and take this seriously. Because things are really about to change for you, and it's gonna be like, it's not gonna take too long. And then he just started, he was going on and on and on. But most people wouldn't see that was God answering the prayer. God really be answering the prayer right away. It don't even take that long. But it's your willingness. If you have a choice between faith and fear, what are you choosing? choose faith every time, because it sets you up to be able to receive the actual message. Like I said, I was gonna answer that call. I was like,
I'm supposed to be in the bath right now. I want to take a shower so I can go to sleep early.
and then I was like, let me answer, right? Because I'm staying open. I don't know. Scott could have called me and he might not have even had a vision for me, but something that he said could have triggered something to make me know inside in my gut, oh, God's telling me something and I need to follow this trail. So to recap, the first thing you want to do is pray and stay 10 toes. Then calm down, remember, and trust. Anyway, I just felt like I should share that with y'all because it's important to know that sometimes, we see things that look chaotic. Like what we see is like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And we could freak out, but you have to trust in the promise. I know this sounds so, but that's the only way I can describe it. You have to trust in what you know is the actual truth. What we see is so illusionary. A lot of things are illusions. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, there's a book back there, right? I can only see it in the camera. I can't actually see the book. I have to turn around in order to see the book. That's perspective. But because I know the book is there, I trust that it's there even though I can't see it. And that's the same thing. Like I can't see the fact that my rent is paid, but I know it will be. I know that I'm good regardless. And a lot of that, okay, to add on, a lot of that is because I've decided to truly walk in my purpose, to truly do the work that God called me to do, as opposed to like,
Oh, let me worry about it so that I can see
that it's paid, right? No, like you gotta go by faith, not by sight. By faith, not by sight. So basically, I just want, I know that I'm not the only person going through this right now. I have a little bit of an advantage in that I've seen God move for real through my time in this space and just in New York in general, right? But for those of you who are like, man, when are my prayers gonna be answered? When am I gonna see a move of God? You gotta really decide that you're gonna trust. The way that you'll know that you're trusting is if you don't go back on your word. For me, that looks like, okay, let me not go scramble to go find a high-ticket fitness coaching client. For you, that might look like something else. What it's gonna feel like is a risk. And my dad is always like, Judith, she takes too many risks. It's too risky for me. But if you don't feel the risk, you're probably not fully in trust. Of course, use discernment. Always use discernment. Again, your intuition will help you with that. If you really want that move of God, you really gotta be in perfect faith, trusting, which is going to feel on the earthly plane is gonna feel risky. You just gotta believe and know that like God is there looking out for you and like with you and in you, actually, you know what I'm saying? So faith is what you wanna use to like keep you calm. And so when you make faith a true knowing, listen, my rent can be paid, y'all. I don't know how, but that's not for me to worry about. That's God's job. Everything's for the glory, so.